Monday morning. This is the week leading into New York City, so trying to dial everything in, get ready for trip down to the city, and obviously get everything ready from a physical standpoint as well. Had some nasty thunderstorms roll through last night. Didn't get a whole lot of sleep. Kids were in bed with us, so I got up, but I opted to just go back to sleep and skip my my swim this morning. Rest is a little more important at this point, so I just decided to pack it in and try to get a little more sleep. I was a little destroyed after this weekend. Had some hard workouts, about 3 hours on Saturday, hard, and then for the most part, and then had a 11.5 mile run yesterday that probably went a little too fast on. Time to recover, get ready for the weekend, and starting to get excited. I still don't know if I'm in the elite or premier wave, as they call it. I got good news last night. Got an email from the New York City Triathlon, and I am now in the premier wave. Definitely changes the whole dynamic of the race for me. Starting early, I was looking at the temperatures in New York City this weekend, and Sunday it's supposed to be 97 degrees out. It's 70 right now in Boston, so we have not really had those types of temperatures, and I am not acclimated to anything quite like that right now. But I started just before 6 a.m., so, if all goes well, my race will be done around 8 o'clock, and, I won't really have to worry about before the temperatures really heat up. But if I wasn't in this wave, I wouldn't be starting until probably 7:30, which, brings you closer to 9:30. And, an hour can make a humongous difference in the heat. So, man, I am happy that I moved into the elite wave now. We go off way earlier than that would have gone off if I was in the age group. And it is looking to be about 97 tomorrow in the city. So it will be, even though it'll still be early, it's going to be hot. Obviously, the heat plays a little strategy, or it plays into the strategy. Set up 2 water bottles on the bike, which I typically won't do in an Olympic, but I talked to my coach about it. We just said better safe than sorry. Fluids are going to be really important tomorrow. It's over. It was a decent race. Finished first in the Premier, the elite division for the Masters. Didn't have my best race, but no complaints. But I always like to dissect my races and figure out where I can do better or what happened, why I didn't do something as well as I should have. But I got up. 4 o'clock, had to get out of my transition area by 5:15, so pretty much, par for the course through transition, walked down to the swim area, no issues, got set up pretty quickly, got into my corral. They are really strict with their logistics, so they don't mess around with the timing. So once the pros went off and the other couple waves went off, we were, when they say go, you go, and it's a dive start for us. And the Hudson is absolutely black. You can't see a thing in front of you. I definitely hit a few things when I was swimming. I didn't have a good swim. I thought it was going to be a lot faster, and I'm not quite sure. I have to look at my Garmin to see what happened in the swim. I felt okay, but I didn't swim nearly as fast as I thought. I definitely got pushed on the inside. I kind of wanted to swim on the outside, but it just didn't happen. And part of that was where they line you up for the dive in. I wanted to get down a little further towards the outside, and they I was in the middle. So you kind of play the hand that's dealt. Out of the swim, it's a long run. It's probably 700 meters or something like that, and it's a long run to transition all on pavement or asphalt. So your feet definitely get a little torn up on that. But through transition, out onto the bike, and then it's a pretty cool course. You're on the highway out of New York City, and got going pretty good. Didn't feel great. Felt good. I didn't feel great on the bike, but I was pushing pretty good. And it definitely, once you get out of town, there's definitely some hills, and I was trying not to kill myself on the hills. It's it's 25 miles, so you don't want to burn all your matches too early. There's a group of guys that kept coming up on me and passing me. There's probably about 5 or 6 of them, but they definitely were in the draft zone. And so there's a bunch of times where I was just kind of boxed in, and I wasn't going to, draft. So I just had to be patient, and I just couldn't bike as fast as I wanted. And through transition onto the run, and it was really heating up. I actually started heating up on the bike, and then definitely on the run, it was getting hot. And I thought I was going to run a little faster than I did at Hyannis a couple weeks ago, but it was pretty close to the same. But it was so hot out there today. It was, it definitely got in the high 90s later in the day. So I can imagine it was 80 degrees when I woke up at like 4 in the morning. So it was probably already 90 by the time the race I hit the run. And I just tried to manage the run. But there were times my heart rate was just cranked up as high as I think I could have it without completely blowing up. I think I ran as hard as I could run today, even though it wasn't nearly like what I can do when I'm in shape. But it was, I don't think I could have run much faster today on that course. Now I have a pretty good sized break here before I race nationals. I'm jumping in one more race at the end of July, so I have a good month here to train and sort of recover and train and build back up for nationals in August. So looking forward to that. And I love to race, but it's going to be nice to focus a little bit more on the training and then come back with hopefully with a little bit more run speed and fitness, so I can do well at nationals. Kids are exhausted. They probably walked a good 6 or 7 miles. All tired. Now we have a long drive back to Boston.